A Missouri lawmaker is proposing legislation to ensure new drivers are ready to hit the road. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with a local driving instructor's insight on the proposed bill.
President Biden and the Russian president weigh in one day after their high-stakes call. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington. More on what the two leaders had to say about where their relationship stands coming up.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Albee. Young Missouri drivers could soon be required to take driver's ed. That's thanks to some pre-filed legislation. The bill says that anyone 18 and younger trying to get the license would need to complete a driver's ed course approved by the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky is both a Joplin driving instructor, also a student, to see what the bill could mean for those young Missouri drivers.
Okay, you are good. You ready? Let's go ahead and go.
Mark Box has been a driver's ed instructor with the Alliance of Southwest Missouri for the last 5 years. And in that time, he's seen some changes in what's required when it comes to obtaining a driver's license.
You have to take your written permit test before you're allowed to drive with a licensed adult of a certain age. And after you're 16 years of age, then you're allowed to take the behind the wheel driver's test. But other than that, there is no mandated training, behind the wheel training in the state of Missouri. It used to be, but it has now been taken out of Missouri's curriculum.
A Missouri lawmaker has pre-filed a bill that would require anyone 18 and younger to take a driver's ed course before obtaining their license.
Kids are not currently required to take driver's ed.
In Box's time as a driving instructor, he says he's seen a significant decrease in teens' driving skills.
Just the skill level I've seen in the teenagers from the time it was mandatory to the time it was not any longer has dramatically decreased.
For new drivers like Jeanette Parsons, she says she believes taking driver's ed prior to behind-the-wheel lessons would put her more at ease on the road.
Oh, absolutely. I would have been less scared. I would have had more confidence, especially driving in Joplin and bigger cities. They don't do that now as they did, I guess, in the olden times they did. And they really should, because it would save a lot of people.
With a lack of driver's ed, Box says he uses his lessons to educate new drivers on the rules of the road.
We try to go over all the Missouri law. We also teach defensive driving courses here at the Alliance. So we try to integrate defensive driving into the curriculum during driver's ed.
In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
If this legislation is approved, it would take effect January 1st of 2023. Some Miami, Oklahoma schools went into lockdown today. Authorities say someone near one of the schools was shooting a gun. No one was hurt. The suspect is in custody. Wilson, Nichols, and Miami Academy all went under shelter-in-place orders. Cherokee County judge sentences the suspect in a 2017 murder. Wesley Smith is going to serve around 16 years in prison on charges of second-degree intentional murder and aggravated battery. He was originally charged with first-degree murder before a November plea deal. Back in 2017, Smith shot 22-year-old Tyler Nelson multiple times on Nelson's front lawn. Doug Eddy joining us now. Day of sunshine, enjoyable.
Yeah, we got the sun back for us today, and also temperatures quite a bit warmer than what we have seen over the past couple days, which is good news as we struggled to warm up on Monday and Tuesday. Normal highs 50. Today we did get up to 55. Cold start started at about 28 degrees during the morning hours. A lot of clouds filtering in now. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies as we go through the overnight hours tonight. We have a weak little wave, which is kind of rotating through. We may get a few sprinkles, maybe a random shower late tonight into tomorrow morning, but even warmer the next few days. We're going to check that out here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. President Biden arrived in Missouri today. The president making his way to Kansas City, where he delivered remarks on the bipartisan infrastructure bill. The commander-in-chief also visited the Kansas City Transportation Authority while in the city. The president signed the $1 trillion bipartisan bill into law last month. Now, President Biden says he and his teams continue to work to bring the temperature down between Russia and Ukraine, a day after his high-stakes phone call with the Russian president. But Republicans say the president is too soft on the Kremlin. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has more now from D.C.
I was very straightforward There were no minced words.
President Biden says during their video call, Russian President Vladimir Putin fully understood the U.S. and allies were prepared to impose crushing economic sanctions if he invaded Ukraine.
We believe that this shows the kind of proactive, strong, clear, decisive policy that puts us in the best position to manage this crisis as we go forward.
President Putin called accusations of a planned invasion provocative and claims his buildup of tens of thousands of troops along the Ukrainian border are in case Ukraine is allowed to join NATO.
We cannot but be concerned by the prospect of Ukraine joining NATO because it will lead without a doubt to the deployment of troops, military bases, and threatening us with weapons there.
Putin has made it very clear what his red line is. He doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO. And he wants what he called a legal guarantee that Ukraine wouldn't do so.
President Biden will speak with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Thursday, who said, quote, "We now see that there is a personal, real reaction and role of President Biden in resolving this conflict." Republicans view the president's foreign policies as the cause of the Eastern European tension.
If we see tanks in the streets of Kiev, it will be because Joe Biden surrendered to Putin.
While Presidents Biden and Putin remain at odds on Ukraine, we are told they had a good discussion on preventing Iran from becoming a nuclear power. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
The head of Instagram answering questions from senators today about the impact the social media site is having on teenagers. Many are demanding the company make drastic changes, and they are aiming to implement federal legislation to help that become a reality. Fox's Madeline Rivera picks up coverage now from Washington.
Instagram CEO Adam Mosseri is defending his company's practices and policies after coming under fire over its alleged harm to young users. Mosseri deflecting blame.
But the reality is that keeping people safe is not just about any one company. An external survey just last month suggested that more teens are using TikTok and YouTube than Instagram.
It's his first appearance before Congress, and it comes after internal documents leaked by Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen earlier this year showed the site's parent company Meta, formerly known as Facebook, knew the platform triggered body image and mental health issues in some teenage girls. Lawmakers demanding to know more about the app's design.
There is such a frustration that you turn a blind eye toward taking responsibility and accepting accountability.
One day before the hearing, Instagram announced new safety measures that includes reminders for users to take breaks after scrolling for a certain amount of time and parental controls to be launched in March, among other steps.
We're also using technology to understand if people are above or below the age of 18 so that we can create a more age-appropriate version of Instagram for them.
Some say the actions are not enough.
These changes fall way short of what we need.
Congress says it's working on bipartisan legislation to better keep children safe online, regulations that Instagram says it's supporting too. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Kenneth Baugh served in the U.S. Army in 1943. We are proud to thank and salute Kenneth Baugh, native of Carthage, Missouri. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Katie's up next with a complete look at the forecast a bit later. The Missouri Southern women aiming for a 3-0 start to league play this weekend. Gonna hear from the team in sports.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. Sunshine returned and our temperatures started to warm back up as we worked into the afternoon hours, which is good news. We struggled to warm up over the past couple days. Here's a great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. The sunshine we had earlier, of course, it's dark out, but the clouds are starting to roll in, so we're going to have mostly cloudy skies as we go through the overnight hours. But temperatures continue to warm up over the next couple days. We do have a storm system on Friday. This is going to give us some showers, even a few thunderstorms and a strong cold front. Another system, which will give us chances for rain the middle of next week. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. Temperatures dropping back. We're sitting mainly into low to mid 40s, and I think we're close to our overnight lows. In fact, I think our temperatures will start to creep up a little bit as we head toward dawn due to southerly winds, which are going to start to increase, especially after midnight tonight. You can see them really starting to pick up out across central parts of Kansas. As of right now, it looks okay. We're sitting at 46. We have some clouds starting to filter in. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 51%. You can see those clouds across the region. Nothing underneath them, but we may get a few random sprinkles, maybe a random shower late tonight into tomorrow morning as this wave shoots on by. Doesn't really have any moisture with it. Next storm system, stronger system just off the coast of California. That's going to be our Friday storm system that passes through the Central Plains. All right, so let's break it down for you tonight. Just a lot of clouds. Temperatures mainly into the mid 40s, creeping up near 50 by morning. Again, maybe a random sprinkle or two. Then sunshine pops out. We go into the 60s by the noon hour. We should go into the upper 60s during the afternoon. So Thursday looks pretty good. Starting at 49, we'll break out, see sunshine throughout the day. 63 by noon, high temp is 67. South winds 10 to 20. I guess that would be the downside. We're going to have some winds gusting 25 upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. Clouds increase again tomorrow night into Friday morning. May get a random shower again late tomorrow night. And then Friday, we'll get some showers in here early afternoon. We have a strong cold front that's going to be working in. I still think we're going to go into lower 70s, and we may get a little line of thunderstorms late in the day. Then we turn sharply colder by the time we head into the weekend. The strong cold front works in. So Saturday, highs only near 50, and then we'll start to rebound again by the time we head into early next week. So temperatures really just kind of all over the place. 67 for us tomorrow, 72 on Friday. There's scattered showers. Only 50 on Saturday, back into the 70s next Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's when we're going to get some chances for showers and thunderstorms once again.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. Coming up, results from a study of the nation's highest courts.
Progressives were furious about President Trump being able to get 3 Supreme Court justices confirmed, so they put pressure on President Biden for reform. He picked a blue ribbon panel. They're out with a report. I'm Mike Emanuel in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
Those who feared or hoped for radical change for the U.S. Supreme Court are either taking a deep breath or stifling a primal scream. A commission studying several proposed changes to the system has basically opted for the status quo. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel explains.
President Biden's bipartisan commission voted unanimously to approve its final report on possible changes to the Supreme Court. The commissioner studied court packing, adding justices to the bench, and how possible term limits could be phased in, moving away from lifetime appointments. They backed the report, but note there was not broad consensus.
There was much disagreement among the commissioners about the various proposals. For example, I am opposed to expanding the size of the court, limiting the terms of the justices, and stripping the court of any of its current jurisdiction.
Moments later, another retired federal judge argued for adding justices.
The court has been effectively packed by one party and will remain packed for years to come with serious consequences to our democracy. Whatever the costs of expansion in the short term, I believe will be more than counterbalanced by the real advantages it will bring to judicial independence and to our democracy.
The commission was created in response to progressives' demands for reform in the wake of President Trump's 3 Supreme Court picks. At the White House, Press Secretary Jen Psaki has tried to lower expectations on possible presidential action and timing.
I don't have a timeline for how long it will take him to review the report. I would remind you all, it's not a recommendations that he either accepts or denies.
Conservatives say this is in response to a 6-3 majority that leans their way. And with lifetime appointments, it is a court which could shape American law for decades.
What's very concerning is now you're hearing Democrats talking about packing the courts because they can't win elections, because they want to undermine the system.
All indications are this blue ribbon report will end up like many others before it, on a shelf. While the debates were respectful, they did not produce a clear vision about changes to the structure of the Supreme Court, which ultimately would be made by Congress. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Just ahead, the mandate battle.
More vaccine mandates are going into place as others face legal challenges. This as the Omicron variant spreads quickly. I'm Molly Line in Boston. I'll have the details coming up.
The back and forth over vaccine mandates continues in federal court while health officials work to get a handle on the fast spread of the Omicron variant. Fox News correspondent Molly Line has more now from Boston.
Omicron is on the move. The new COVID strain is being reported in at least 21 states from Hawaii to Massachusetts. It's more contagious than any variant we've seen since the start of the pandemic. And now there are questions about the effectiveness of the vaccines designed to protect us. Pfizer pushing back on Wednesday after a South African study showed 2 doses of the drug maker's vaccine might not offer full protection against the variant. The company releasing new data showing a 3rd dose increases antibodies by 25-fold and neutralizes Omicron, while also preventing hospitalization and death.
It's a positive message today. Please go and vaccinate yourself. 3 doses is really what's required to effectively protect from Omicron.
The spread of Omicron comes as new COVID cases are spiking in more than 30 states. The Biden administration is pushing vaccine mandates as the best way to contain the spread. That effort suffered a setback after a judge put a hold on a mandate for federal workers and contractors, which would have gone into effect in January. The administration says it will appeal and expects to eventually prevail. But with the mandate for private businesses also held up by the courts, some critics say it's time for the White House to change its strategy.
I think the Biden administration probably is and definitely should be rethinking this. Now, so far, the courts are rethinking it for them.
The CDC is reminding folks that despite the uptick in Omicron cases, the Delta variant still accounts for the majority of new COVID infections. In Boston, Molly Line, Fox News.
Coming up, one beverage company kind of taking a new meaning to festive products. Holiday traffic, then take a look at this. No further, because where this car is going, it needs no roads. Take the skies with Jetson 1 compact flying car. The vehicle resembles the look of a personal helicopter as you look closely at it, and can now be purchased for the price of $92,000. So there you go out and buy one. Wait up though, I'll say something later. Drivers can hit speeds up to 63 miles an hour, according to the company, while soaring above rush hour traffic, but only for short journeys. Jetson 1 can fly roughly for 20 minutes at a time. The car of the future might not be parked in your driveway for a little while though. Jetson has already sold out for 2022, but is more in stock for 2023. I would imagine you need some sort of special license for that. I don't know. Pretty cool though. All right, Miller Lite is going heavy into Christmas time comedy this year and trying to get you to lighten up as you wear yourself out with Christmas decorating. The popular beer maker is introducing Beer-naments, attractive white ornaments, as you see right there, to put on your Christmas tree. The ball with Miller Lite logo has enough space for a can of Miller Lite to put inside. You're on your own to buy the beer though. And then the top of the ornament serves as a hanger on the tree. The limited edition ornaments are for sale at beernaments.com. A package of 6 of them costs $19.75. Now, I was thinking this is a good idea for when guests come over. It doesn't have to be beer, it can be wine, Coke, Pepsi, even juice. Just take a ornament, and put a can of your favorite beverage in there. Obviously, it wouldn't say Miller Lite, but I thought it was creative. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. An area business offers a holiday gift guide for people looking for a last-minute present. Also, the UK joining some other countries in diplomatically boycotting the upcoming Winter Olympics. Cherokee County, Kansas officials worked late tonight to fix some tax issues. County officials tonight hosted a short meeting to get everyone up to speed. Now, due to clerical errors, 20,000 individual property tax papers will need to be amended and refiled because they overtaxed people. Officials also contacted superintendents of county schools because of discrepancies on mill levies set by the clerk's office. If you're still looking for a gift for a kid in your life, Pittsco in Pittsburgh is trying to help. The company released a holiday gift guide for educators and decided to open it up to families as well. The gifts they're offering are educational and focused on STEM learning.
So for something like Bluebot that seems to be fairly complex, we actually have an activity guide that allows for, I want to say, about 25 hours worth of classroom content to really get the children's imagination going and then really allow them to touch a lot of different subject areas.
Pittsco offers gifts for kids from pre-K through high school. A Miami, Oklahoma high school mascot will no longer be, hiding her face under that bulldog mask she normally wears. Instead, you could see her face featured in major publications. Anna Maria Thomas today signed a contract with a top New York modeling agency called Elite Model. She was discovered at a beauty pageant in Orlando last month.
I kind of hope that an acting career may branch off of it. I've been in theater my entire life. I've been doing plays since I can remember. I started doing NEO plays when I was a freshman in high school. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe it'll branch off and maybe something may come of that.
Elite's models have been featured on the cover of Vogue and other fashion magazines. Well, yogurt may help lower your blood pressure. That's according to a new study. A team of researchers from the University of Maine, also the University of South Australia, studied 900 people and their yogurt eating habits and its effects on blood pressure. Scientists say the bacteria in yogurt helps with the release of proteins to help lower blood pressure, even for those with high BP. Eating small amounts helped lower bad blood pressure. High BP is a key risk in cardiovascular disease. The study is published in International Dairy Journal. Company once owned by infamous pharma bro Martin Shkreli is paying up in a settlement over allegations that jacked up the cost of a life-saving drug. FTC says Viera Pharmaceuticals will pay up to $40 million. The company allegedly gouged buyers and monopolized sales of Daraprim, raising the price by roughly 4,000% after obtaining exclusive rights to the drug back in 2015. Daraprim is used to treat toxoplasmosis. It's an infection that can be deadly for people with HIV or other immune system problems. Biden administration is reluctantly and slowly reinstating the Trump-era return to Mexico policy as ordered by a federal court. This as the surge continues across vulnerable crossing points along the southern border. Fox News correspondent Bill Mulligan is in Del Rio, Texas with the latest.
It's the dark of night on the Rio Grande, and Fox News is embedded with Texas DPS as they patrol the La Jolla area, looking for illegal activity, and it doesn't take long to find it.
Raft, port bow.
A human smuggler has landed a raft on the U.S. side, full of illegal immigrants. Some flee into the brush, others remain in the boat, including a woman and child. Texas DPS troopers quickly track down the runners and detain them at gunpoint. They are arrested, and the raft they came over on is knifed. When day breaks, Texas DPS gives us an aerial perspective of their efforts. The state of Texas has created a flotilla on the Rio Grande in the La Jolla area, hoping to act as a physical barrier.
We've deployed over 30 boats from Texas Parks and Wildlife, also with our Texas DPS boats as well. And the purpose behind that is to slow the influx of illegal immigrants that are coming across.
But despite all of those boats and the restarting of the Remain in Mexico policy on Monday, migrants continue slipping across the border in the RGV. In Panitas, we've seen dozens of family units giving themselves up at the border wall levee. In La Jolla, this group of runners was caught shortly after crossing illegally. This runner, partially dressed in camo, was caught in the middle of a residential neighborhood. According to a DHS source, in the last 24 hours alone, there have been more than 1,800 encounters with illegal immigrants in the Rio Grande Valley sector and 179 gotaways. Just since October, the sector has seen over 105,000 encounters already. That's a 165% increase over the same time last year.
And when it comes to the Remain in Mexico policy, what we're hearing is it's first being reinstated in El Paso, then it's going to be in Brownsville and Laredo. It is not yet being rolled out here in the Rio Grande Valley or in Del Rio. Both of those sectors are the busiest along the border. Reporting in La Jolla, Texas, Bill Mulligan, Fox News.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying no UK government minister is going to be attending the Beijing Winter Olympics, joining the US, Canada, and Australia and pulling its top officials from attending the upcoming Winter Games. The British Prime Minister announcing the UK's diplomatic boycott during a question and answer session in Parliament. Though British athletes will still be allowed to compete, the formal diplomatic boycott of the Games provides a way to publicly condemn China over its human rights abuses. A bit later, how a family used technology to track and catch some Porsche pirates.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. Sunshine returned and our temperatures started to warm back up as we worked into the afternoon hours, which is good news. We struggled to warm up over the past couple days. Here's a great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. The sunshine we had earlier, of course, it's dark out, but the clouds are starting to roll in, so we're going to have mostly cloudy skies as we go through the overnight hours. But temperatures continue to warm up over the next couple days. We do have a storm system on Friday. This is going to give us some showers, even a few thunderstorms and a strong cold front. Another system, which will give us chances for rain the middle of next week. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. Temperatures dropping back. We're sitting mainly into low to mid 40s, and I think we're close to our overnight lows. In fact, I think our temperatures will start to creep up a little bit as we head toward dawn due to southerly winds, which are going to start to increase, especially after midnight tonight. You can see them really starting to pick up out across central parts of Kansas. As of right now, it looks okay. We're sitting at 46. We have some clouds starting to filter in. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 51%. You can see those clouds across the region. Nothing underneath them, but we may get a few random sprinkles, maybe a random shower late tonight into tomorrow morning as this wave shoots on by. Doesn't really have any moisture with it. Next storm system, stronger system just off the coast of California. That's going to be our Friday storm system that passes through the Central Plains. All right, so let's break it down for you tonight. Just a lot of clouds. Temperatures mainly into the mid 40s, creeping up near 50 by morning. Again, maybe a random sprinkle or two. Then sunshine pops out. We go into the 60s by the noon hour. We should go into the upper 60s during the afternoon. So Thursday looks pretty good. Starting at 49, we'll break out, see sunshine throughout the day. 63 by noon, high temp is 67. South winds 10 to 20. I guess that would be the downside. We're going to have some winds gusting 25 upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. Clouds increase again tomorrow night into Friday morning. May get a random shower again late tomorrow night. And then Friday, we'll get some showers in here early afternoon. We have a strong cold front that's going to be working in. I still think we're going to go into lower 70s, and we may get a little line of thunderstorms late in the day. Then we turn sharply colder by the time we head into the weekend. The strong cold front works in. So Saturday, highs only near 50, and then we'll start to rebound again by the time we head into early next week. So temperatures really just kind of all over the place. 67 for us tomorrow, 72 on Friday. There's scattered showers. Only 50 on Saturday, back into the 70s next Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's when we're going to get some chances for showers and thunderstorms once again.
Doug, thanks again. Coming up in sports, Pitt State basketball hitting the road tonight to face Rogers State. It's also a special night for Joplin fighter T.J. Britton. Ends in a first-round knockout Saturday, but the coolest moment came before he even stepped in the ring. Jacob Leonard has that story and more next.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are back on the floor tonight on the road against Rogers State. On the women's side, the Gorillas are 5-2 to start the season, including a 1-1 start in MIAA play. This one tonight is over. The Gorillas control it all the way through to win 74-60. Tristan Gegg leads the way with 21 points. Aaron Davis gets 12, while Jamie Jackson posts 10 points and 7 rebounds. As for the men, Pitt State trying to bounce back from a loss last week, hitting the floor against the Hillcats. Gorillas had a 3-point lead at half, but they were outscored 54-39 in the second half, falling 82-70. Isaiah James scores a team-high 13 points for Pitt State. The Missouri Southern women are on a roll right now. The Lions have won 4 games in a row, including their first 2 conference games against Central Oklahoma and Newman last week. Now, Southern has the whole week to prepare before facing Rogers State on Saturday in their first MIAA road game. Now, they're obviously off to a good start with 2 home wins to start conference play. But in the MIAA, winning at home is kind of what you got to do. The bigger test will be what they do on Saturday away from their home court.
It's a nice start, and that's all it is a start, because there's 20 more conference games to go. But it's good. We got 2 at home that we won, and it's extremely important that you win your home games. You know, if you want to finish in the top half of this league, you got to take care of your home court, and then you got to find ways to win on the road. Rogers State offensively is very good. They got a multiple of kids that can really score the basketball from the perimeter and from the inside, so they're going to be a big challenge.
The Southern men also feeling pretty good right now. They're 2-0 in the MIAA and have won 3 games in a row. The Lions have had to work for it, winning those first 2 league games by 2 points and 4 points. As a young team, though, it's a good sign to be able to finish those games off.
We've got to keep on getting better. There's a lot of things we need to work on. We're still pretty inexperienced, but slowly but surely, Martin's getting a lot more experience. Avery's getting a lot more time. We're able to get those guys in there and start to feel a little bit more comfortable. And with RJ being out, it's a blessing in disguise with some of these guys being able to get some experience. And once we get RJ back, we know we got a lot more depth.
Well, Joplin fighter TJ Britton was in the ring on Saturday night at Buffalo Run Casino. Now, he won his fight to get to 3-0 in his pro boxing career. But the best part of the night for Britton came before he even walked out to head to the ring. TJ Britton enjoyed a special night Saturday night, earning a first-round knockout in his 3rd pro boxing fight.
We had a game plan. It was being well-rounded and then attacking, and I feel like we did that. I was in tune with my coaches and executed very well, and good night for us.
While he got the ending that he wanted, the best part of the night for Britton came before he even stepped foot in the ring.
Through the lowest of nights, and I'm no longer a dead man.
Britton's daughter, Kyrie, just 2 months removed from major lung surgery, sang his walkout song before he came to the ring.
Man, that night was very special for me. It was my dad's birthday. My dad passed away some years ago, and my daughter wanted to do something to honor him. She wanted to do sing when I come out.
Everything with breath, sing praises.
I kind of had me, Ryan, we probably come back there in tears a little bit before we came out, but just to know her story, she's the one that lung collapsed right before my brother passed away, and then her lung collapsed again. So that song meant more to us than people know.
And I've been healed by those nailed hands.
She's been healed by those nailed hands, and God truly did heal her, man. I mean, it didn't look good, but for her to be in the hospital having a major surgery to now playing seventh grade basketball and come to my fights and singing it was an emotional night for me.
Britton went out and finished his fight in the 1st round to get to 3-0 in his pro career. As for what's next,
I fought Saturday night. Monday morning, we're back in the gym, me and Jesse, 5 a.m. We're going to stay in the lab, man, and we're going to be ready for whatever comes our way. And I just got a feeling it's a big opportunity to come our way around February, so I won't say too much.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after the break.
A Utah family gets fed up with porch pirates making off with booty from their residences. That's a sentence with a word I've never said before in a newscast, I'll be honest with you. And the family plants a tech spy to make them walk the plank for their misdeeds. Fox's John Frankie has this story.
This little device is an AirTag. It costs about $30, but when connected to things like keys or a box, it lets you track exactly where that item is located. It's this device that turned the tables on a suspected porch pirate.
You get these guys even on your Ring doorbell video, and it's like they're covering their face. How do you find them?
A thief in the night.
It's not just the stuff that disappears, it's the feeling that I don't dare order stuff from my front porch.
This scene has played out all too often on Justin Bankhead's front porch.
We've had 2 packages stolen just in the last week.
So Justin offered a $500 reward to anyone who could find the thief, and his 14-year-old son took him up on the offer.
I didn't really care until I heard about the bounty.
In the darkness of early Monday morning, the thief returned, and despite forgetting to put his car in park, got away with another package.
I went outside, and I saw it was gone.
But this box was a bit different.
We went out and bought a tracking device and hid it in a little speaker and put it on a box in the front porch.
Cody placed an activated tracking device in that box. Justin tracked the car and called police.
Yep, just get out of the way. The officer's going to go over there and then just pull over to the side and stay in your vehicle until the officer talks to you.
The suspect was arrested.
I don't think he had any clue that he had this coming.
Cody ended up getting the $500.
Pretty happy. I felt pretty cool.
A small price for Justin to pay.
Everyone has these frustrations with these guys running around neighborhoods just having a free-for-all.
To send a message.
If you're going out there, you are going to get caught. Like, people are smarting up.
Provo police tell us they took that suspect into custody and then transferred him to the Orem Police Department. They added, if you do something like this, just be careful and don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. In Provo, John Franke, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Let that be a warning to other porch pirates, right? All right, next, preview of a new movie showing this weekend. The story of two people who forever changed television. We have two legendary television stars heads to the big screen this weekend. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has the story.
Action!
Lucy! Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem transform into one of TV's most famous and iconic couples in Being the Ricardos.
I care about what's fun. There's a feeling that you have when you sign on, you're like, oh my God, this is an amazing project, what a great role. And then it's like, yikes. Now I have to do it.
They play legendary actors Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, the stars of the hit 1950s sitcom I Love Lucy, which became one of the most watched shows in the U.S. during its 6-season run. The biographical drama, written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, follows the famous duo during a production week on the set of the hit classic series, where they face challenges in their TV careers and relationship.
I was changed to this country, Lucy!
Bardem was surprised to learn about who Desi Arnaz really was off-screen.
How proud he was of his origins and his talent and his skills. I think he made everybody feel part of the show and the success of the show. And that, coming from a producer as he was, is a lot.
Nina Arianda and J.K. Simmons portray Vivian, Vance, and William Frawley, the actors who played the famous on-screen neighbors Fred and Ethel Mertz in the iconic sitcom.
The relationship with Vivian Vance was very contentious off camera. They did not get along.
The rumor was that before they had even set eyes on each other, William had overheard Vivian complain about the fact that she's going to be married to this old man, that she's married to her grandfather. And I think it hurt him, and it never got back on its feet after that. The show.
Being the Ricardos opens in theaters Friday and streams on Amazon Prime Video December 21st. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Tonight's show sponsored by Vita Mita Vegemin. That's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of meerkats playing in a ball pit. Yeah, get in, have fun. Come on, knock yourselves out. There you go. Hey, be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.